Hi, welcome to the Summit Program's online Summit orientation. My name is Donna Poyant and I'm the coordinator of the Summit Program. This PowerPoint is going to give you a review of important information that you need to be aware of as a returning BSU student who will be participating in the Summit Program. I'm going to now disappear from your video screen, but please continue to watch the remainder of this PowerPoint. Thank you. For the remainder of this Summit online orientation, we're going to give you an overview of the Summit program, touch base on graduation requirements and academic policies, make sure you're ready to be returning to BSU, and we'll review your DegreeWorks audit and give you information on how to register for classes. The Summit program is an academic support program that assists students on your path to graduation. You will be assigned a Summit advisor to work with until your GPA is back above a 2.0. The orientation is the first step of this process, and then you will continue to meet with your Summit advisor throughout the semester. We look forward to working with you. The Summit program consists of your Summit orientation, which is happening right now. Thanks for doing this online. It will then consist of an initial meeting with your Summit advisor, which should happen prior to the semester starting. Once we are in the semester, then you should have monthly meetings with your Summit advisor. You may also work with an academic coach and have meetings with them throughout the semester too. Here's all your awesome Summit advisors who will be working with you this semester. Once you have completed this Summit orientation, you will receive an email with who your Summit advisor is and who you should schedule your first meeting with. You will also be able to access our Summit orientation website, which has really cool Flipgrid videos, so you can learn more about your Summit advisor. The official means of communication with students is your BSU email. Please make sure to check that daily. If you have not already, you may want to consider downloading the BSU mobile app too. There's a lot of good, useful information on it for students. If you're having an issue with either of these, please contact IT support at bridgew.edu. Moving on to the fun stuff, graduation requirements and academic policies. It is truly our hope in the Summit program to help you get to the point of graduation. We understand that it may not always be easy, but we are here to help and support you along your path. In order to graduate from Bridgewater, you need to complete 120 credits. Within those 120 credits, you need to complete your major requirements and also your core curriculum requirements. You also need to complete a certain amount of credits at BSU. Depending on if you're a transfer student, you are allowed to transfer up to 69 credits from a community college or two-year institution and up to 90 credits from another four-year school. GPA requirements are also part of graduation requirements. All students must have a 2.0 or higher GPA, and then depending on your major, you may be required to have an even higher GPA than that. Please check out the list on this screen and make sure to talk to your Summit advisor regarding your GPA requirements. BSU uses an A through F grading scale. Since you are currently on academic probation right now, it's very important to try to focus on getting grades C+ or higher to help improve your GPA to be above a 2.0. For example, a B- is equivalent to a 2.7. A D is equivalent to a 1.0. So every letter grade you get translates into a numerical grade, which helps into calculating your GPA. There are certain marks that do not factor into your GPA. If you have to withdraw from a class, for example, that would not count in your GPA. If your professor marked you as a walkaway because you've stopped attending your class, that would not factor into your GPA. If you get an incomplete, while the course is an incomplete, it does not factor into your GPA, but you do have to complete the work in order to get a letter grade for that class, which will eventually go into your GPA. If you do not complete the work by the end of the next semester or within the timeline that you work out with your professor, that incomplete will turn into an F. So please be aware of that. There are also some classes that are considered satisfactory or unsatisfactory. You do have to pass these classes in order to advance to the next level course you might need in that subject. For example, Math 095, you have to pass before you can take your next level math class. While they are SU, they will not factor into your GPA. You also have an option of taking courses as no pass, low pass, medium pass, or high pass. If you choose to take advantage of that policy, then if you get any of these marks, it will not factor into your GPA. As long as you get a passing grade in the class, it will be either a low pass, medium pass, or high pass, and you will earn the credit for the class. If you do not pass the class, it will be a no pass, and you will not earn the credit for the class. There's a lot of information on this slide. Please make sure to talk to your advisor about this if you have any questions with regard to your GPA. We also use a GPA calculator. The link is here. You can access this link on our website also, or through the downloaded version of the PowerPoint. We use this with students during our first meeting, usually, so that you can have an idea of what you need to get for a GPA this semester in order to get your overall GPA back above a 2.0 and off of academic probation. Please be aware of the withdrawal deadlines and the high pass, medium pass, low pass, no pass deadline. If you need to consider using either of these policies during the upcoming semester, please make sure to talk to your summit advisor about what is best for you. Thanks. We hope that by the end of this semester, you will be able to get your GPA back above 2.0 and you will not be on academic probation any longer. But if for some reason you are unable to do that in one semester, we do need you to at least get your GPA to fall within this chart based on the total credits you have earned. This will at least allow you to not run the risk of being dismissed from Bridgewater again and being allowed to return to school on academic probation for another semester. If you have been academically separated from Bridgewater State University, you will have to take one semester off, and you will not be able to take any classes at BSU during that semester. Because you are currently a student on academic probation and your GPA is below a 2.0, you are only allowed to take a maximum of 13 credits in the upcoming semester. One way to help improve your GPA is by taking advantage of the repeat policy at BSU. You can repeat any course that you did not do well in, especially those you may have failed and still need to take. Credit is only awarded once for the class, so if you did happen to pass the class with a D- or higher, you will not earn additional credit for the class, but the new grade will help to improve your GPA. The newest grade is the grade that will calculate into your GPA when you repeat a class. The previous grade will not. It's always the most recent grade, not the best grade, the most recent grade. Some things to consider when thinking about whether or not you want to repeat a class are, can you do better in the class? If you can, I highly recommend repeating it. How will a repeat impact my financial aid? You should talk to the financial aid office, but in most cases, if it's your first repeat, it will be covered by financial aid. If you are utilizing VA or military benefits, you will want to check with our Veterans Center to see if the course will be covered. And the last thing to consider when repeating a course is whether or not you need to actually take this class again. It will depend on the requirements that you have already completed yet or not. Okay, now that that policy stuff is done, we want to make sure you're ready to come back to BSU. So we're going to talk about a few things, including College Theory 168, Trails to Success, and making sure your finances are in order. Okay, in case you didn't guess it by looking at the screen here, College Theory 168. 168 is pretty much all the time you have to work with in a week. That's how many hours are in a week. And we want to make sure you're able to take care of everything you have going on in your life within those 168 hours. We've given you a handout. You can do this on your own time, but really, figure out where all your time is going, just so that you know you have the time to incorporate academics, classes, and studying back into your life. We've provided you with a Trail to Success handout as part of this online summit orientation. This is a great way for you to self-reflect upon your return to BSU. It's important to know why you're coming back to college and whether or not you are ready to be here this semester. Since you are doing this orientation, we believe you are ready to be here and we are welcoming you back and we want to help you along this path. But it's really important for you to understand what may have impacted your academics in the past while at BSU and plan for your future. Your Trail to Success will be shared with your Summit Advisor once you have submitted it back to me.
You may have struggled while at BSU in the past, but that's why the Summit program is here, to help support students. From us running this program in the past, we have learned some of the reasons that students have struggled may have had to do with not taking advantage of resources and services offered at Bridgewater, maybe working too many hours per week while trying to be a college student, having difficulty adjusting to the demands of college life, struggling with personal or family problems, and maybe you just missed too many classes because you had all of these things going on. In addition to those top 5 reasons that I just mentioned, with the shift to online classes due to the pandemic, that's another reason that has caused some students to struggle in their classes. If you plan to take online classes in the upcoming semester, please check out the BSU Online Class Support website. It has a lot of great information on the different types of online class formats and technical requirements and support. It also has helpful resources and success strategies so that you can be successful in your online classes. If you have any questions about this, please speak with your Summit Advisor or your academic coach. Keys to academic success include going to class, prioritizing what you have going on in your classes and life, planning ahead, asking for help. It's always important to ask for help if you have questions or concerns. And obviously, you need to study. Let me discuss going to class in a little bit more detail. By that, I mean show up. Make sure you're there and you're actually participating in your class. That could mean in person or virtual, depending on how you have your classes scheduled for the upcoming semester. There are plenty of resources you can take advantage of as a student at Bridgewater. First and foremost, you should use your professor as a resource in your classes if you have questions about those specific classes. In addition to that, you have both your Summit advisor from the Summit program and your faculty advisor within your major. If you need any academic support services, the AAC is the place to go for that. We have both in-person and virtual appointments with students to assist in areas like academic coaching, tutors, writing fellows, math tutors, accounting tutors if you're in any accounting classes, second language services if English is not your first language, and our Student Accessibility Services office. In the past, this office was known as Disability Resources, but now they go by SAS. Additional resources outside of the AAC that you might want to consider using or taking advantage includes Career Services, the Financial Aid Office, the Lewis and Gaines Center for Inclusion and Equity, the Pride Center, the Veterans Center, and the Wellness Center, which houses our health services and also our counseling office. All of these resources are here to help support you while you are a student at Bridgewater.
It's important that once your schedule is finalized that you get your books for your courses. You can buy them or rent them, but your books are a very important tool for you to be successful in your courses. So Make sure to get your books for your classes. Returning to college can be expensive, so make sure you plan how you will pay for college for this upcoming semester. You may need to touch base with our financial aid office or student accounts in order to set up a payment plan. It's important to talk about financial aid. If you have not already done so, please submit your FAFSA. The priority deadline for BSU for submitting your FAFSA is March 1st for the next academic year. But if you have not submitted it yet, that's okay. You can still submit it. Please do it as soon as possible. In order to be eligible for financial aid, students have to maintain what is called Satisfactory Academic Progress, or SAP. The university and government look at three things in order for a student to be maintaining SAP. One is your GPA, one is your completion rate, and one is your maximum credits attempted maximum time frame in order to get your degree. If you have any questions about your SAP, you should follow up with the financial aid office. As a student in the Summit program, your GPA is below a 2.0, which means you are not currently maintaining SAP. You may fall under one of these three statuses depending on your specific financial aid situation. SAP warning, which means this is a warning semester for you with regard to your financial aid, and you need to get back in SAP in order to be eligible in future semesters, but you do not need to appeal. The second one is probation without an appeal. This might mean you made some good progress with regard to improving your SAP in the past, and the university is just going to continue your SAP probation, and you do not have to do an appeal. The last one does require students to do an appeal. This means that you may not be eligible for financial aid at the moment, and in order to be eligible, you need to submit an appeal to the financial aid office explaining your circumstances and why you are not maintaining SAP, and submit an appeal to see if you will be eligible to get financial aid for this upcoming semester. If your appeal is approved, you will be put on a financial aid contract. Any questions with regard to financial aid should be addressed to your financial aid counselor. This is a listing of financial aid counselors' contact information at BSU. You can locate your financial aid counselor by looking at the financial aid caseload last names column in this chart. Find the counselor based on your last name, and then you can contact that person. That person is your financial aid counselor. Okay, we're going to review your DegreeWorks audit now. If you have an opportunity to call up your DegreeWorks audit right now and follow along with your own audit, great. If not, make sure to review your DegreeWorks audit once this presentation is over. Your DegreeWorks audit shows you what you have completed at BSU or transferred into BSU from other schools, and what you still have to complete in order to earn your degree. It does not reflect any pending transfer credit. So if anyone still has transfer credit that they need to send to BSU, please take care of that as soon as possible. You can always access your DegreeWorks audit through InfoBear, and you should check it every semester before you register for classes. If you don't remember how to log into InfoBear or get to DegreeWorks, check out the below YouTube video tutorial for assistance, and it will give you a brief review of DegreeWorks on top of what I am going to review shortly. This link can be accessed through the non-narrated PowerPoint, or it can be accessed on the Summit Orientation online website page. Once in your DegreeWorks audit, the beginning part will be just some information about yourself. It includes your name, your banner ID, your faculty advisor and Summit advisor will be listed there. It includes your class status, your overall GPA, and academic standing. If you transferred in any credits, you should also see that on your DegreeWorks audit. Your program or major should also be listed. And this is also where you can check to see if you have mass transfer status. Please note, your student profile is the area you want to check to see if you have any registration holds or if you're cleared for registration. That's the best spot to check that. Although you can look here, it may direct you back to your student profile. There are also some placement scores for your writing placement and math exam listed on your DegreeWorks audit. This is more for your advisor to know what starting level English and math classes you should be taking if you still have to take those classes. Okay, so this is a great area to just get an overview of important information you should be aware of.
If you scroll down a little, it will bring you to your degree block overview. So this tells you everything you need to know about graduating from Bridgewater. This student is in a Bachelor of Science program. You can check out the catalog year that you're listed under, and then the credits required is 120. Credits applied refers to the number of credits that you have already completed, plus anything that you might be registered for currently. So those credits are applied towards the 120 credits for graduation. The overview lets you know all of the core areas you need to complete, along with your major program requirements and major GPA and residency requirements. It's just an overview. We'll get into more details as we go further on in your DegreeWorks audit. The key to pay attention to or legend as you're looking at your DegreeWorks audit is to know anything with a green check mark is completed, which means you're all set in that area. Anything with a red box, that is something that still needs to be completed. So those are courses you can consider taking in your future semesters. Anything with a blue tilde, or I like to call squiggly, is an in-progress class. So that's something you are currently registered for at the moment.
If you are a mass transfer student, your DegreeWorks audit should reflect that. If it does not, please make sure to discuss this with your summit advisor and to follow up with the school that you transferred from to make sure you have mass transfer status posted on your final transcript that is sent to BSU. Mass transfer basically means you have completed the majority of the core curriculum classes at your other institution. And most of the core classes here at BSU, you do not have to take. But you do have to take 2 courses if they did not transfer to Bridgewater. That includes your Foundations of Logical Reasoning class, which for most students is Critical Thinking 111. For some students, it could be Math 180, and for other students, it could be Computers 111. It really depends on your major, so check with your advisor about which course you should take. The other course that you would need to take at BSU if you did not transfer it in is our Public Speaking or Oral Interpretation class. That requirement needs to be taken here at Bridgewater if it has not transferred in. If it has transferred in, then you are all set. So make sure to look at your DegreeWorks audit and make sure it says mass transfer if you believe you are a mass transfer student. And again, if it does not, please follow up with your advisor and the admissions office. For all students who are not mass transfer, your degree audit will look like this, and it will break down all the core curriculum area courses that you need to complete at BSU if you have not already done so. Your core skills include English 101 and English 102, logical reasoning, a math course, and a second quantitative reasoning course. Sometimes your math and quantitative reasoning courses are dependent upon your major. Please make sure to talk to your advisor about that. All students also have to complete a first and second year seminar at BSU. If you are a transfer student, you may have been waived from one or both of these depending on how many credits you transferred into BSU. In addition to seminars, Students also have to take a public speaking or oral interpretation class, as already mentioned, COM 102 or Theater 210, and then a combination of 3 writing and speaking intensive classes. 2 have to be writing intensive. The third could be either writing intensive or speaking intensive. Please note, first and second year seminar classes, if you do have to take those, are always a writing or speaking intensive class. Additional core curriculum areas include your core distribution, which are fine and performing arts classes, humanities, your sciences, and social and behavioral sciences. You can check out how many additional courses in each of these areas you need to take by looking to the right, and it will tell you still needed 2 courses or still needed 1 course. It really depends on what you've already taken so far to know how many more you need to take. Again, pay attention on the left to whether or not you have a green check mark, a blue squiggly, or a red box. That will let you know if you are completed with an area. An area will not switch to a green check mark until all courses in that area are complete. For example, in the humanities, this student is enrolled in a history course, but in addition to that history course they are taking, they are still going to need 2 more humanities classes before that area will be complete. In addition to the core distribution, there are some additional distribution areas. Those are known as global culture requirements, multicultural requirements, and your U.S. Mass Constitution requirement. Courses in these areas can sometimes overlap with courses in the core distribution area. For example, that same History 111 class, which counts as a humanities, also counts as a global and multicultural class. So sometimes you can take 1 course and it fulfills more than 1 area. The nice thing about your DegreeWorks audit is that it includes links. So if, for example, you were looking for a global culture course and you weren't sure what courses fall in that category, you could click on the link on the right where it says 1 class in attribute GCL, and a box will show up and give you a list of course offerings. And then you can check out and decide what class you might want to take in that area. If you continue to scroll through your DegreeWorks audit, then your major program block will come up. Your major will be listed along with the credits required for your major and credits applied on the far right. And then it will list out all the courses that you need to take and complete within your major. Again, on the left, if there's a green check mark or a blue squiggly, those classes are completed or in progress. If there's a red box, that means those are courses that you still need to take in order to finish your degree. If you look to the right, where you are still required to take some of the classes, you can click on the links of those classes to get more information about the course, including course descriptions and any prerequisites that may be needed before you can take a particular class.
Below your major courses, you will see the listing of your major GPA and residency requirement. Each major has a GPA requirement. For most majors, it's 2.0, but there are some that are higher, so please pay attention to that. And also a residency requirement. Residency typically means how many courses you have to take at BSU to earn your bachelor's degree from Bridgewater. In most cases, it's 50% of the credits within your major, but that does vary, so you want to pay attention to also the residency requirement. Your major GPA factors in only those courses you take within your major. So this example, this student is a marketing major, so their major GPA is factoring in their management and marketing classes. Those are the ones that factor into their GPA. Now, you'll notice that this student has an A- in their marketing class, but their major GPA is listed as a 1.233, and you might wonder, how is that possible? It's because if you look a little further into their degree works audit, they had a couple of management classes that they failed. So those Fs are also factoring into the major GPA. So if you are a psychology major, for example, only your psych classes will factor into your major GPA. Criminal justice major, only your criminal justice classes. Sometimes even if you have to take courses outside of those areas that count in your major, they don't factor into your major GPA. So keep that in mind, but for graduation purposes, you have to meet both the overall and major GPA requirements to graduate.
It's important that your major is a good fit for you. Hopefully that is the case and you are all set. But if for some reason you are thinking about changing your major or even adding a minor, this is something that you can talk to your summit advisor about. You can also run what's called a what if DegreeWorks audit when you're in DegreeWorks and process that what if audit to see what courses you might need to take in a different major or what courses you might need to take if you were thinking about adding a minor. The last part of your audit shows your electives, insufficient, and in-progress courses. Electives are courses that count towards your 120 credits for graduation, but do not count within the core or within your major. For those of you who are mass transfer students, you will see a lot of courses listed under electives. That's just how they fall within the DegreeWorks audit. Insufficient shows any courses that you may have withdrawn from, failed, got marked as a walkaway, or are incomplete. These courses are not counting towards graduation credit because you did not earn the credit for them yet. So, insufficient is a really good area to check out in order to decide whether or not you might need to repeat a course. If you look to the far right of the insufficient, you will actually see whether or not you may have already repeated a course because it will list repeat, which signifies you have already repeated that course. But if you don't see repeat listed, then that's something to think about repeating that course. In progress is the last section, and that is basically the courses that you are currently registered for. If you do not see any courses there yet, it's because you're not enrolled in the next semester. But once you are registered for the next semester, you will see those classes listed. Okay, let's get ready to do some registration prep. I'm going to go over some important information you need to be aware of. I'm going to direct you to some areas that it will be useful for you to watch some videos to learn more about the new registration and planning area. And then hopefully, once you're done with this, you will be ready to start looking up classes and getting yourself registered once you submit your registration form or your academic plan to me.
Here's a few things to keep in mind as you're planning your classes for next semester. If you are registering for 12 or fewer credits and take day and evening courses, there should not be any extra evening charges. If you are registering for 13 or more credits, you should be aware that you could be charged an evening rate from the College of Continuing Studies for taking those evening classes. This semester, it shouldn't impact you too much because you can only register for a maximum of 13 credits. But in future semesters, when you may take more credits, it could end up getting costly. You should always check with student accounts to find out how much more you are being charged if you fall into this category. Keep in mind, an evening class offered through our College of Continuing Studies is any class that starts 4 p.m. or later during the week or might run on a Saturday or Sunday. It's courses that are 4 p.m. or later or on the weekend. A class can start, for example, at 3:25 and end after 4 p.m. That's considered a day class. the starting times 4 p.m. or later, or running on either day of the weekend that are considered evening rate classes. If you are utilizing military or GI Bill benefits, you should check with the Veterans Center to see what will or will not be covered, whether you're taking day or evening classes. Be sure when you're looking up your classes, if you decide to take a web or web hybrid course, to check to see if it is a day or evening rate. The hybrid courses rate for their classes will again depend on the time the course is being offered. And if you decide to take a 100% web online asynchronous course, which are your CS, continuing studies courses, you will get charged an additional $25 per credit for an online technology fee. So if you're taking a 3-credit online class, that will cost you an additional $75.
As you're preparing for registration, please make sure to check out the videos at this below website. The Registration Tools webpage has a lot of good videos to show you information on your Prepare for Registration page, how to search for classes, how to create a plan and plan ahead in the registration and planning area, how to add a course, and how to drop a course. Depending on how long you have been away from BSU, the system may look a little different from the last time you registered for classes. It has been updated and is much more user-friendly. So be sure to check out these videos at this website. You can get to this website from the Summit Orientation website or from the PowerPoint that is the non-narrated version. The one main new thing that you will notice when registering for classes is that you need a registration pin to register. Your registration pin can be located on your student profile via the Prepare for Registration page or the View Pin link on your student profile. So you will need that registration pin in order to register for classes. You will not get access to that registration pin until you have been cleared by doing this summit orientation. Once you complete your summit orientation, you will need to provide either a plan or a registration form back to myself in order for it to be reviewed. I will clear you, and then you will get access to your registration pin.
So to get to the new registration and planning pages on InfoBear, you're going to go to InfoBear, log in, click on Student, and then from Student, go to your student profile. And then from your student profile, you're going to click on Registration and Planning. Now, before you can actually get to the registration and planning page, you do have to submit or accept your student financial responsibility agreement. Once you have done that, then you'll be able to advance to the registration and planning page. Once in the registration and planning area, you will be able to browse courses and search the courses you want to take. Once you click on Browse Classes, then you will select the semester that you want to look up, and you will be able to then enter search criteria, looking up subject, or you can also do an advanced search and narrow things down by things like attribute, which is the type of core class you want to look up, or even the days and times. For the upcoming fall semester, fall classes should be viewable by March 31st. One of the great new features in the registration and planning area is the Plan Ahead feature. Once you select Plan Ahead, it will direct you to select your term of classes that you want to build a plan for. And then from there, you will be able to create a new plan. You can create a new plan for the upcoming semester. Once you're in the plan, you'll be able to search for classes and save the classes that you want to take. Once you save that plan, then you can let myself know that the plan is ready to be reviewed, and I can view the plan to make sure you are taking appropriate classes, and then clear you for registration, which will give you access to your registration pin. Using the Plan Ahead feature is a great way, an easy way to help you actually then register for classes.
Once you have created your plan, you will be able to search for classes that you want to put in your plan. Once you've searched a class and you see the course come up, you want to make sure you hit View Sections to see the actual days and times of when this course is being offered. From there, you can choose and add the actual section you want to take into your plan. So you would hit the Add button and it would add into your plan.
Once you've looked up your courses, you should be ready for registering for them. So before you can register for classes, you want to go to the Prepare for Registration page. That's where you can locate your registration PIN. That is also where you can locate how many credits or earned hours you have and your class status. You need all of that information in order to be able to register for classes. Also, if you happen to have submitted a repeat form, it will show up on your Prepare for Registration page so that you know you're all set to register for that class. Okay, so here's what you can do next. You should open your InfoBear and DegreeWorks in two different tabs. Review your DegreeWorks audit to start planning what classes you want to take next semester. If you have any pending credits because you took courses somewhere else during your time away from Bridgewater, make sure to submit that transcript to the admissions office as soon as possible. You can now go and look up courses via DegreeWorks or on InfoBear in the registration and planning area. If you do decide to repeat any courses, if you are repeating a class that you previously failed, you should be able to register for it no problem. If you are repeating a course that you did pass, so getting a D- or higher grade, you will not be able to register for it yet. You need to make sure you fill out the online repeat request form that you can locate on the Summit Orientation webpage. It is an online form, so once you fill that form out saying which class you want to repeat, it will be automatically sent to the registrar's office. The registrar will process that form, which then gives you permission to sign up for that repeat class. So make sure you take the necessary steps so that you're all set to sign up for your courses. The upcoming registration schedule is listed on this slide. Please pay attention to your class status and your number of earned credits so you know which day and time that you can register for next semester classes. You can locate that information on your student profile or your Prepare for Registration page. In addition to being able to register once you have that information, is that you need your registration PIN. So again, we'll need you to do the plan ahead feature so I can review that and then clear you so you get access to your registration PIN. And then it's very important to register as soon as possible. That way you can get the courses that you need for next semester. It's best to register on your registration date or time, but you can register anytime after that also. Okay, you're almost ready to register. First, if you're having any issues with logging on to your InfoBear email or Blackboard, please contact IT at itsupport@bridgew.edu. They can assist you. Then you will need to complete a Fall 2023 plan in the Plan Ahead area or complete a Fall 2023 registration form, which you can locate on the Summit Orientation website. Once you have done either of those, your plan or filled out your registration form, then you can email me, Donna Poyant, at dpoyant@bridgew.edu and let me know that your classes for the fall can be reviewed. Once I am able to review them and make sure you are in appropriate courses, I will clear you for advising and you will get access to your registration PIN. Then, once your registration date approaches, you will be able to register for classes. Classes start Wednesday, September 6th. The final day to make any schedule adjustments or add drop classes is Wednesday, September 13th. Again, thank you for completing this online summit orientation. If you have any questions or concerns about anything you learned while viewing this presentation, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You have my contact information from the email that has been previously sent to you. You can also look up any of this information again on the Summit Program website, which again, you should have that link. If you feel like you need assistance building your schedule, doing your plan, or filling out your registration form, and you do not want to do that alone, you can schedule a one-on-one meeting with your summit advisor. Just let us know that you want to do that, and we will get you the information on who your summit advisor will be and how to schedule that meeting. So please reach out with any questions that you have. And again, thank you for completing this orientation.